What's the deal, YouTube? Listen, I know that I'm late. I had a few people that been asking me to do a pre prediction of the fight, and I'm sorry. I'm playing in the background. I'm sorry. Your boy's been doing a lot of stuff with the broadband bully. So, but anyway, um, listen here. Um, the fight went more or less like I thought it would go. You know what I mean? From the offset, Floyd is old. Floyd's not the same Floyd that he once was. And to add to the fact, McGregor has a very, very awkward style. Um, and two, I didn't realize how much bigger McGregor was than Floyd. Like he looked like McGregor, like he was like like a light heavyweight in him, literally. You know what I mean? He literally like a light heavyweight in the ring tonight. You know what I mean? But I tried to explain to somebody in the barbershop, right? And they were saying how hard that McGregor punches. Um, and I'm not, and again, and to be honest, he punches harder than Floyd, but the difference is Floyd punches correctly, and gets all of his weight more or less behind, and he throws the right shots. It's like he picks the shot, you know what I mean? And what you saw, like I did a video a while ago, but guys of you that are new here to my channel when I used to box, and I told you guys that fatigue makes cowards of us all. The only way I can explain that is like if you got literally, if you got a shark on land on you in the corner, and you're like running in quicksand, and he's on you. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's not so much that the punches that Floyd was throwing was hurting him, but his body was so fatigued and his head was snapping back. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people that are in the UFC, that are fans used to seeing people get beat up and punched out, but it's a little different in boxing. You know what I mean? Quote unquote, it's the gentleman's sport. You see, there was no big protest from Conor McGregor. Like he didn't have anything else. If he wouldn't have grabbed Floyd, he could have put him out. Anybody could have got hurt. You know what I mean? The man was defenseless. He couldn't really defend himself. But believe it or not, it was interesting up until the stoppage. You know what I mean? Floyd is 40 years old. And it's one thing, they said, Father Time catches up with everybody. You know what I mean? At the beginning, and like I said, Conor's very, very awkward. He was going from southpaw to conventional, was throwing lead. Like, I don't know what the hell they were, uppercuts. And it's like, you know what I mean? Things you don't really do as a boxer. I'll give you an example, right? When Prince Nassim Hamad used to box, it wasn't that he was the best, but he was very athletic and very awkward. I'll give you an example. Look, Roy Jones. That's a perfect example. Roy ain't never been the best boxer, but Roy was very, very athletic, and he did a lot of things wrong. You know what I mean? So once you took away Roy's athleticism, you know what I mean? See look, prime example. You look at Bernard Hopkins, right? Well schooled in the fundamentals, you know what I mean? So when Father Time begins to take away your speed, he still was fundamentally strong, you know what I mean? And Roy's not the same, the same thing. You know what I mean? If you understand that analogy there, you know what I mean? But like I said, Conor's very athletic. But here's the question though. Does Conor have a career in boxing? Now, the big fight they're going to sell is him and Paulie Maldonado. You know what I mean? This one maybe another big payday. Who do you have in that fight? Paulie shot too, though. You know what I mean? And it's one thing I said in the game. I respect every fighter. I mean, it takes a lot of heart just to get in that ring to put your body through that. You know what I mean? Not only are you going to get in there and maybe take punishment for 36 minutes, but you in camp for like 2 months taking punishment. It takes a lot out of you. You know what I mean? So, again, now there were some things that kind of said leading up to the fight that I didn't particularly care for, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But outside of that, you know what I mean? A lot of people were saying that this was going to be a spectacle, to be a black eye for boxing. Actually, like I said again, it was very entertaining. People always say they're not used to seeing Floyd in entertaining fights. Floyd went out there for the knockout. You know what I mean? Like Floyd was put his foot on the gas and was out there gunning. You know what I mean? But anyway, like I said, some people, I was watching the fight and man, so what's the early stoppage? No, he's a big UFC fan. You know what I mean? He used to people getting pounded out. It's not like that in boxing. And again, somebody can die. You know what I mean? Somebody punches you full flesh and you ain't got your neck is snapping back. That shit is dangerous, man. You know, that's dangerous. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the stoppage. Conor didn't have a problem with the stoppage. You know what I mean? Like, you see him, he's back there smiling. That man got about $100 million a night. You know what I mean? He cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, the question is, I'm going to go to the chat. Do you think Conor will have a career in boxing? And so, who's like to see him fight? You know what I mean? He's not as bad as I thought he was, to be honest with you. Now, he does a lot of things wrong that's awkward, and it's kind of only way that I can explain it when like I said, I've been around. I started. I've been on sports since about 8 years old. You know what I mean? So, but we're taught a different way to how to hold my hands, how to catch punches, how to slip. Kind of, you know what I mean? He was throwing punches from, like, you know, El Segundo. You know what I mean? The things that he was doing, and he was when he would punch, he would bring his back foot with him, like a karate. You know what I mean? He would bring his you know what I mean? He would bring his back foot with him, and be conventional. You know what I mean? It was very, very awkward. You know what I mean? I don't think he hurt Mayweather with anything. Now, it was they said a body shot in the round that he round before he stopped him. I believe it was like in the 8th round. But it was kind of low. You know what I mean? It was kind of low. But again, entertaining fight. It was. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a fan of the sport. So boxing is my favorite sport. So anyway, but outside of that, you know what I mean? Conor did better than I thought he would do. Honestly, he did better than I thought he would do. You know what I mean? Honestly, you know what I mean? He went 9 rounds. I didn't think it'd go past 5. He went 9 rounds, but once Floyd sat down and started figuring him out and was doing little subtle moves in there, like, you know what I mean? Conor didn't know how to adapt. I'll give you an example. What Conor was doing, let's say, had Floyd been a really big puncher, he'd have really hurt him. It's not saying that Mayweather can't punch. Everybody got this theory that Mayweather doesn't hit hard. No, the man can punch. If that's the case, people will walk through him. You know what I mean? When he would go to tie up, he would come in with his hands down and grab him around the waist with his chin straight up in the air. Those things, you know what I mean? If you've been around the sport with the things you just don't do, you learn how to time up and get your breather. You know what I mean? And, you know, get your rest. And maybe that would have preserved him. You know what I mean? A little longer. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's different. Like I said, in the UFC, I think they would fight 4 or 5 rounds, and that's it. Break. Box is a lot. So it's more enduring. You know what I mean? You're on your feet. You don't get to lay down and hold. I mean, you do get to hold, but you know what I mean? But like I said, there's little things he could have did in there, and that could have helped him. One thing that he did, I think that was wrong. He should have got a real live boxing trainer in there. He didn't, because he said he didn't want to mess with what he had. But it's the other little things. How you grab him, time up, spin, get your rest. He didn't know how to do any of that. You know what I mean? So he couldn't. Not to say that this is the key. A lot of people don't know this. Your opponent is just as tired as you. He's just as tired as you. But the little thing mentally, Floyd is a very, very mentally strong guy. You know what I mean? It's like going into the matrix. But there's little things you do. Hold your breath. You know what I mean? Don't breathe out your mouth. You know what I mean? And grab hold. Push off. Start all over again. You know what I mean? And then when Floyd would start to do that, and he would have his hands up, and he couldn't really land clean. Here's the thing. I'll give you an example, right? When Conor's in the UFC and he's fighting, and he's throwing these, you know, punches, he's used to landing them. You know what I mean? Connecting. Ha, ha. When he's doing it against Floyd, you know what I mean? He's not landing as clean. And even if that can be really kind of discouraging. You know what I mean? He's used to teeing off and boop, 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 and they're going down. Like I was telling people, it's not the same thing with boxing. You know what I mean? And not to take a stab at the UFC, but and I understand they do some forms of striking and standing when they box in the UFC. But like I said, it's a totally different animal. It's like if Floyd was to go to the octagon, he probably tap out, like, you know, he probably lose in like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? But again, you know, he would have did better. No, listen, if he's going to stick around in the sport, he's only 27 years old. I don't know if he can be champion anything, because it's probably his natural weight is probably him being a middleweight. I don't think that, but he can probably beat some people out there. Like he probably can beat some people. And I know Paulie called him out. I want to see. He might beat Paulie. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I understand he said the footage was edited. You know what I mean? But again, Conor gave Floyd a little problems at the beginning of the fight. I'm like, oh man, because you know what I mean. I'll give you an example. Right, check it out. When Evander fought Lennox in Madison Square Garden, I was there, right? A sign of a shot fighter. Lennox went to throw an uppercut, and Evander lift his leg up. You get gun shy. Yeah, it's called being gun shy. Evander, I never forget it. Lennox went to throw an uppercut, and Evander pivot and lift his leg up. That's the sign, like I'm shot. Like, you know what I mean? You want to get, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want no smoke. Like, you know what I mean? And Evander just got old overnight. Now, listen, there are rumors. I'm not going to say any names. That Evander was down at their clinic down in Florida. He wasn't only a patient, but he was president. He was down there juicing. You know what I mean? But That's neither here nor there. Back to what I was saying, I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat. Would you like to see Conor fight again? Would you like to see him fight? And so who? You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, guy? Hey, guy, what you think about this fight, bro? Oh, it was a money fight, but listen, the fight wasn't that bad, though. You know what I mean? I mean, again, like I said, you know, it's, you know, people, listen, let me tell you something, right? When a lot of people get knocked out, believe it or not, it's not because so much that they hurt, it's that they're tired. You know what I mean? The only way that I can explain that, bro, Jesus, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not so much, again, that the punches are hurting you, because believe it or not, the only thing that really hurts, like out pain, is body shots. You get punched in the head and the face, it's like somebody really, a bunch of pressure, like somebody hitting you in the face with a pillow. Those, and your days or whatever, you might see sparks. But the body shots, that hurts. That's like, ouch. You know what I mean? When you see people with heads snap back and stuff, that comes from fatigue. You know what I mean? They're tired. And again, you know what I mean? And like I said, for his own safety, you want no, like I said, a grown man and been boxing forever, punching you straight up in your face, like, it's no good. But anyway, my question is to you guys: would you like to see Conor fight again? You know what I mean? In boxing, of course. You know what I mean? If so, who? You know what I mean? Like I said, he did better than I thought he would do. He's very awkward. And he, like I said, he's big too. That's a big boy. Look and listen again. Look at his body frame and his mass compared to Floyd. Like he was in a fight, a super lightweight, I mean, super middleweight. Like he looked huge compared to Floyd. Now, normally, like I said, be honest with you, Floyd is a naturally junior welterweight, literally. Floyd doesn't have to do anything to make weight. He walks around probably at 50, if that. You know what I mean? Literally. He eats what he wants. Floyd, if he wants, like I said, and again, he's just so skilled at what he does. He's really a 140 pounder. You know what I mean? Maybe 135, literally. You know what I mean? He walks around about 150, 152. You know what I mean? But again, yeah, my man, actually said he did better than you thought too. You know what I mean? Yeah, join my stream if you missed the fight. Nope, not in boxing. He said nope, no. Brian Baker said no. Hoodstar said no. Not a chance. Dang, he didn't. Yeah, listen, he didn't do that bad. Like literally, the man didn't do that bad. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people were looking for McGregor to have that, because the man he can punch, he can crack. But then again, like I said, in UFC, and you're striking and you're hitting those people clean with those punches, it's not the same thing as boxers, because boxers train for punches, you know, all day long. I'm not saying anybody can get hit and get hurt, but you know what I mean. UFC, you know, you're looking for all types of things, kicks, takedowns. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, it was a high fight. It was a very interesting scrap. McGregor did better than I thought he would do. You know what I mean? And I didn't have a problem with the stoppage, because again, he was, you know, again, that was fatigue. His head snapping back, and you know what I mean. He was literally about to go out. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he wouldn't have grabbed him, you know what I mean? Maybe he could have hit his head. So we'll have to fight another day. But anyway, this is your boy Next Gen 720. But like I said, if you watch the fight, like I said, I'm a boxing and purist. It's the little things that Floyd began to do. And I was telling my man, he said, well, look, Floyd ain't doing nothing. I said, you understand, he's walking him down. You know what I mean? It's constantly, you throwing your all, ha, 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 and you're not really landing clean. You're not hurting them. And you're used to, when he was in the UFC, when he's throwing those punches, he's used to connecting and hurting people or getting a response. So again, all that is, like I said, mental. It's mental, you know what I mean? This pressure, just put them in there. All right, come on. All right, boom. The little shots inside, touch him. It may not look like a lot to you, but when you swinging, breathing, and somebody touching you downstairs, pop, ooh, like, oh, damn, that shit hurt. Right back on them. Little things, walking them down. Hands up, guard them, I mean? And again, like I said, and to be fair, again, Floyd did what he said he would do. He said he would walk him down. You know what I mean? And that's not Floyd's fight. Floyd put the high guard up and walked him down. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The bigger man, so the smaller man, how you say, actually, it's not the size of the dog, but the size of the fight in the dog. You know what I mean? Little man walked him down, did what he had to do. It was a good fight. $100, it is what it is. This is your boy Next Gen 720. Hit the like button. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have a special video for you guys. Microsoft released some other specs for the Xbox One X, hot chips. I'm gonna have my tech guys, and then they're gonna break that down. It should be a good day. Anyway, it's your boy Next Gen. I'm out of here, man. Still doing the Lord's work. I'm out, gone. Bacon.